And welcome everybody. We are just a couple of minutes early, so we'll get going here. Uh, Thanks for coming along on this. It should be a lot of fun. I see some new faces and new names out there. That's great. Always great to have new people on board. We'll ask for questions as we go along, but if anyone has anything right off the bat, we got about a minute or so before we get started. All right, I'll take that as a no, I don't have a question moment there. Hopefully you'll have a question when we get into it. How does this look on your screen? Jay, how's it looking? Is it all right?
Screen looks good. I'm hearing you, and I'm hearing another conversation with you at the same time.
Same here, Don.
What you're hearing? Okay, if somebody has their mic on and you're around other people chatting, turn your mic off until we get to you. Or if you need to jump in and ask a question, your mic should be off. So we won't pick up any of those extra sounds and things going on out there. We're going to do 3 of these this year. We're going to do one per quarter. And we get to the last quarter of the year and we're still all in lockdown. It probably won't make any difference because none of us will have any money to make photographs with anyway. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with the fourth quarter when we get to the fourth quarter, but we are going to do this. If everything lightens up towards the summer, we'll do a portrait class. I love to do portrait classes. A lot of fun. And I have several prepared so we can do that. But for now, let's get on to it. We're recording, I believe. I said record. Yes, we're recording, so let's get into it. Our first shot up is Teresa, who is not here. Teresa did this Tylenol bottle, and it's kind of a complex shot. We'll see the new image there. How she did it. It's kind of a complex shot. The simplest little Tylenol bottle can be a real challenge, folks. Can be a real challenge as you're working with light and the whole bit. One of the things that Teresa did a nice job on here is to move down low and shoot straight across at it. So we see the bottle as a graphic here. Nice light. You can see how she did it right here. A couple of white fill cards, a big white light behind the scrim, big softbox behind the scrim, and then a blue gelled smaller light right behind the scrim up close. Let's go back and see what that gives us. You can see, gives us pretty nice. The white light is bouncing off the white cards. The blue gel is giving us the blue. All in all, a very, very nice shot. Oh, I think she's using the grids here. Side lighting. Okay. Yeah, she's using these grids here. Gridded.
Yeah, Don, you can actually see the grids on the bottle.
Yeah.
The little tiny shadows in the front, like little lines, shadow lines.
No, I'm not seeing the grid. I'm seeing the spaces between the white cards. These are all white
that's
cards.
What it is. I thought it was the grid.
This is the gridded to the left. The gridded to the left is a little bit, or to the right, a little bit behind, and then these are the 3 white cards.
Oh.
And she's got one of the white cards removed here.
Gotcha.
Yeah. All right. Very cool. Very cool. Tricia.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Okay. Let's see, Canon 5D 16 ISO 400. So you're using it says speed lights and softboxes on each side. Okay, if you're using speed lights, why are you shooting at a 1/5 of a second?
Because the blue behind there was going so dark.
Got it. Okay. So the blue is a
It's
continuous
a
light.
continuous light. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, all right. Here's what I would tell you to do with this shot. I think the shot itself works pretty well. You've got these little spaces in between the items. They're all pretty much the same space. That's good. Your highlight looks good down the side, and your logos, your branding here looks very nice. What I think needs help is it's very soft. We need more pop. We need more contrast. And I think, are you Lightroom or Photoshop?
Lightroom.
Lightroom. I would go
Well,
into
both.
both.
Yeah.
Okay, I would go into the Lightroom and try to kick it up a little bit in contrast. Put it in Photoshop, and then in Photoshop using channels, just create a little bit of an S curve.
Okay.
So we get that a little bit brighter up front here and get these things to pop a little bit better, because the light doesn't look bad at all. Light's nice, it's soft, it's doing its job, but we need that. There we go. There's our behind the scenes. We need that pop, and sometimes the pop goes away when you have that long exposure for the continuous.
Mhm.
So I think, yeah, you go into Photoshop, just pop that contrast up. This is a white bottle, right?
Yep.
When you put this in Photoshop, when you put your pointer over it, your color pointer, it's going to come to a very dull light gray.
Okay.
You want to bring that white back up into it. So you'll be working with your information eyedropper and your channel thing to get that white back up in there. All right, very good.
Thank you.
Very good. That's Giannis. Oh, things are all out of order. I don't know why that is. Is Giannis here? We'll come back to that. All right, this is Lee's.
It's totally different.
All right. Lee, it doesn't look straight to me.
You sent in the crooked one.
Huh.
You fixed it
I did.
once.
I did.
You sent in the crooked one. Once again, you sent the wrong image.
I don't. Is this? I don't think. Have you done your Photoshop work on this? See
I think that's the wrong image.
Yeah, I don't think
And
this is your image.
On
'Cause
your screen looks totally different.
yeah, you've got it's the camera's crooked to the background, and
Right.
it's a little bit crooked. Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
you've worked on
that
this.
is not the right image
Okay. All right.
because the camera was. I did one that the camera was in an angle, and that's this one. And
All
then
right,
I
well,
fixed
get it put in at the bottom and remind me at the end. I'll refresh it and it'll
Let me
be
put it in the middle. Yeah.
very good. Right guard, Tom Siebert. Tom, are you here? All right, very clean. And notice it's got a lot of nice contrast to it. It's real poppy in the contrast. The label looks good. Everything looks pretty good on this. We've got the darker edge against the light background that gives it depth. However, I'm going to be real picky here because that's the name of the game. I do not like where this horizon is, because this horizon comes in right at that graphic, that design element right there. I would say bring the horizon in low so that element, that little V cut out there, can stand against the background. That's what it's there for. When we talk about graphic designers and product designers, they put all these in, and Tom, you did a great job lighting those up. We see these hand grips, but that little guy down at the bottom where the twist goes, that's where the twist happens. That's where we're kind of missing it, because it goes right in and blends with that horizon line. We don't need all this horizon back here. We don't need it. It's not important to the photograph. So let's not include it. Let's move these back right to the edge, get the horizon. You could even come down there with the horizon if you wanted to, that low. Let's just get them up there. They'll feel bigger. They'll feel stronger. This looks pretty good up here, this little highlight. All the parts of it are looking good, especially a little highlight going down there. It's not as big over here, and that's because this one is blocking it a little bit, that highlight there, but it doesn't look bad. Best way to do this probably would have been to shoot both of these items separate. Well, this item, these two like this, then take this one away, shoot it the second time without touching the second one and getting a better highlight down the side than having this block it, and then just replace the part of the bottle that you need to replace. Very, very well done. Thank you, sir. Stuff is trickier to shoot than you thought it was, I'm sure. All right, so why are we not going back? Oh, I see. That was there. All right, next picture. Oh, that's how Tom did it. Yeah, so he did it in one shot, got a great highlight down this bottle, but we need that same highlight down that bottle. Nice set, Tom. Easy to do. All right, came in very close here. Diane McMillan, is Diane here?
I am here.
Ah, okay. Really, really good job on this.
What did you say?
There are a few things that I would have you look at, but I don't know if they wreck your shot. Your shot looks very good. Let's look at everything that you did right here. Great highlights down the side, and the highlights being slightly different. This one's a softer highlight, then this one has a sharp edge. That's a nice, very nice way to just play with the light, let the eye dance around the product very well. So everything looks good. It looks very sharp all the way through, which product stuff has to be. But the gold right here, we lost the gold. That's where your camera is, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah. You know, if you were shooting this for like a local department store or something, this would be absolutely fine.
Wow. Okay.
Absolutely fine. There'd be no problem with this at all. If we're shooting it for the client, okay, you got a white card on this side, I take it.
Actually, I don't have all. This is just constant light, and I have very minimal lighting equipment, and they're just like the little snow cone or the little fluorescent lights.
Double check me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so I don't know that I might have had a card or a diffuser or something that I tried to soften the light. I don't remember. I'll do much better this next time.
Pretty good job with it. So when you have that white card or that something that's making this gold, right? Take shot number 1, move it to the other side, and it will reflect off the gold there. Make shot number 2. Then
Okay.
into Photoshop, all you have to do is to cut this shot number 2 out, right? Hold the shift key down and drag it over shot number 1, and it'll just land right smack where it belongs.
Okay.
Because the shift key will give it pixel to pixel perfection when you drag.
Okay. Can I ask a question about those lines? Because I was experimenting with lining the lights up. I'm sorry. I was experimenting with lining the lights up so that they would hit the gold lines. And then I thought maybe the designer that you talked about wouldn't appreciate having their pretty gold illuminated by the bright light. Is that correct?
Yes and no. We don't know the mind of the art director, because art director A, Bob, may absolutely insists that all this gold shows.
Okay,
Art director B, Linda, she may love the way it comes in and out because it shows that it's gold metallic. If you
Okay.
know how to do all the gold, you easily know how to do part of the gold. So what you
Okay.
want to do is to go for the most that you can, because just taking a card away and letting it fade over is no problem. The other thing is the area around the letters here, that's white, right?
It's supposed to be,
Okay, so when we look at it, it's not quite white.
right.
So this area right in here, somebody is making a buzzing noise. So this area right in here, I would say needs to come up a little bit in the whites. So I would highlight this area in Photoshop. Are you good in Photoshop?
I'm fair.
Okay, so I'd get that, I'd move that to a new layer, and then I would work on your levels or your channels to get that white back up to white.
Okay,
It shouldn't affect very many other areas, but if it does, then you can just let it blend it back in with a mask
okay.
to let it get up there. The other
Okay.
thing I like to use, do you have Nick?
I don't.
If you had Nick, you could put Nick right on that white area right there. And Nick becomes, it's like a digital fill card. It's really amazing because if you put it on the white, like in the O here, put it on the white and then tweak it a little bit, it'll only do the whites. It won't raise the green or the reds. It won't raise them. It'll only raise the whites up. So
Oh,
pretty cool.
and is that NIK or?
NIK. Yes.
NIK?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Very good.
Thank you.
And let's get in here to Lawrence. Hi, Lawrence. How are you?
Hi, I'm okay. Yourself?
Very good. Really interesting bottle. Good highlights. All sharp all the way through. It's very good. And the way you lit it, really nice. We get to see all these bumps because, as I talked about in the video, these bumps mean a lot to the designer who designed this. This is, you
Yes.
know, where we're walking around with our photographs. They're walking around with photographs of stuff going, look at this cool stuff I made, right? So that's very cool. The only thing is, I think it's very flat and I think you're a little underexposed. You think?
Okay.
Let's do this real quick here. All right, hang with me here. This is kind of why these things go on a little long, because I go down little rabbit holes and I want to make sure here we go. So we're going to go in here to our info palette here. I'm going to take a sample off this right here. I'm going to go look at that color. It's not white, right? So we want to get that up to white. So the easiest way to do it would be to use let's use a levels adjustment. That's the fastest way. And you can see over here, see the levels?
Yeah.
These levels right here, those levels right there means there's no white in the picture. And we know there's white in the picture because we have the item in front of us. So what we're going to do is we're going to, let's see. Why is this over here? I want it to be its own thing here. All right, so what am I doing? I got something on somewhere, right?
Open up your window there a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Keep going. Now you can drag that white marker to the histogram.
There it is. I'm going to drag this over. Notice the bottle. till we get right about there. And now we're going to check the bottle by grabbing the little thing. Let's go right into that highlight right there. Click it. Let's go over and look at it. That's pretty white. That's
Okay.
pretty white. That's what we want. See how it pops?
Yeah.
Just need a little bit of that white. Look what it did down here too. This did a nice job down here with these blacks. Could slide this in just a little bit. Bring those blacks a little bit darker. And we have, look how close you were. I mean, you're just right there on top of it. Just need that last little tweak. Really good. What lens and camera did you use for this?
It's an Olympus OMD 10. It's
Okay.
a bit old, but it works.
One of our Project 52 members just got a camera made in 1937, and it works. Here's a question for you. You think your D800s will work? What is that? 50, 60, 70, 80 years from now?
I don't know. I've got an OM20, which I got when I was a teenager, and it's still working fine. So hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, nice shot. Good job. And I love your angle, by the way. Coming straight across at the bottle gives us the definition of this bottle. If you had shot down on it, look how much of the design it would have scrunched that design, you know, pushed it together, and we wouldn't see all the designer's work here. Nicely done.
Thank you.
Very good. Very good. Right here, just to give you a bit of right here in front, bring a white card all the way up to the camera. Okay.
Yeah, I
Cool.
actually did that on purpose because I wanted to have just a wee sliver of white to light the bottom up to the label. And because I had the shower curtain hanging from the corner of the two soft box, it gave me enough light. I didn't want to have too much light coming from underneath because of the wee dot on the bottle, and they would have
They would have
appear a bit
the dots would have been killed, but from the bottom light.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, what I'd want you to do is to do this for one shot. Do it, and then you have the other. Then when you can stack this bright one on the other one, right, in Photoshop, and reveal the dots while keeping the brightness right down at the bottom. Just play with your masking to make it perfect. Oh yeah, back in film days, this would have been.
I didn't use
been a hard
Photoshop
shot.
at all. I just bring up a bit of the clarity when I uploaded the picture, but I didn't touch it up at all. So I should try that. Yeah.
Yep. Very good. Oops.
Thank you.
There you go. Giannis. Still not here. Okay, Giannis, nice job with this. Clean highlights down the side. I would say that being very, very careful with product photography and advertising, you got to be very, very careful. You see how the E is very bright, and then the T gets bright, and the S gets bright, and the M isn't, but your body and face wash is bright all the way across. We got to do the same thing with this word elements here. You got to do the same thing with it. Got to make sure it's all the same. And this, you could probably just use your magic wand, grab each one of these things and just pull it up a little bit. Each one of those letters. The care, the CA in care needs to come up to where the E is here. Don't you love the foil, huh? It's the foil. It's like, you get a wine bottle and it's got the beautiful label that wraps, halfway across the wine bottle, and it's got all the foil in it. And you think, do you have any idea how hard this is going to be shoot this wine bottle for you? Because you're going to want everything to show, and some of it is reflective, highly reflective, like a mirror, and it's going to photograph the camera. It's going to record where the camera is, and the whole bit. We once spent 20 minutes trying to find out why we were getting red stripes on a product that we're shooting. before someone noticed that I was wearing a red shirt, and I was actually catching the light and reflecting it. It was a reflection of me in the camera. It was the last day I wore red shirts on a set, like to black. All right, nicely done, Giannis. Bonnie, ooh, it's kind of sexy. Bonnie here?
Hi, Don. Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, this is very pretty. You did a nice job. Even though the T and the R are in the black, it's pulled out. Nice and clean across there. The edges, did you do something?
Thank you.
Did you pull your blacks up in Photoshop or something?
No, I don't think so. You mean make them less black? Is that what you mean?
Yeah. These edges just seem, they seem dark, but they don't seem contrasty dark. Did you do that in Photoshop, or is that in the image?
I think that's in the image because I actually added a little bit of a vignette to it to,
Okay.
darken it just a smidge.
Okay. Yeah, I like this. I think you could probably. Go ahead.
Should I have darkened it more on the edges?
Well, it just feels a little flat to me because I don't think there's any black in the picture.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Need a little bit of contrast to it. What I would do is
okay.
Pull the bottle off the background, just get it up on its own layer, and then play with your background a little bit to see what you can come up with. I think we get a little crisper background, maybe a little bit brighter red glow. Then we'll have something.
Okay.
Here. Yeah, let's just pull it up and pull that off and play with the background a little bit. I like where you put your horizon, by the way. Nicely done. Makes the bottle look so big.
Oh, thanks.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What did we do?
Thank you.
Here. Very nicely done. And this is your behind the scenes here. Oops. Yeah. Yeah. And I know what you're talking about when you said, it's hard to do the behind the scenes because all you see are the cards. Got a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
But best thing to do is just put your iPhone or your whatever you have right in front of the camera and just shoot it, so we see it right from camera.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you got plenty of white cards around it. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. Cards are coming so far forward that they're just sweeping that super soft transition line. Very nice. Very nice. Good job. Dan.
Thanks.
Good morning.
You.
Morning, Dan. How are you?
I'm doing well.
I love the very bright values, and yet you haven't lost anything. Right down here in the cap. I know you looked at it and you probably thought, is that too bright? It probably is. Probably is just a little too bright. Just bring it down in Lightroom or Photoshop. We don't have to see it over here. We just have to see it right through here. There's that little, we can see it on the screen here.
Right.
If this was being printed, that would go away. It's too subtle. There's not enough ink to go in there to when the ink is transferring through the screen. It's called dot gain. There's not enough ink separation down here to do that. So we need a little bit better edge. Love what you did with the lemons, and the front of the lemon looks great. You got those little highlights in it. Fronts, if you cut lemons and oranges and stuff, they dry up really fast, right? Really fast.
Right.
They dry, they get that dull film on them. So you want to have a little brush there with some water, maybe a little bit of glycerin, maybe a little bit of olive oil, something to keep these things hydrated so that we see those highlights. And you just got plenty of highlights. You lit it from the side, so we got the shape of the tube. Undoubtedly, we know exactly what the shape is. We see the highlight, the true value of it, and the shadow as it goes off into here. And you kept the light out of your logo for the most part here.
Well,
So,
there's
Good.
foil that where it says true professional and that circular, that's foil, and that I kept having to bring more reflector cards in so that didn't go black.
and why does it go black?
Well, it was foil, and
Right.
without
Foil
right,
has
there's
to,
nothing reflect.
right. So foil has to see something to reflect back to the camera. Okay. With me?
Right.
So when you guys are pulling out those silver reflector cards, are you making sure the light's getting back to the camera? Because 90 times out of 100, when I see people playing with gold and silver, it's not. And so what are you lighting your person with with that card as a bounce card? Black. So you've got to twist that thing around, because it has to see the light and then be at the angle to bounce that light into the area where you want it, so it can be seen. Otherwise, it's black. Silver cards are either silver or black. There's nothing in the middle. White cards are always white. They're diffused. Their surface is diffused. So the big difference between the two. Good composition all the way through here, Dan.
Thank you.
Yeah. Camera and lens?
It's a Canon 5D Mark III with a 50 1.8. Just a 50.
Yep. You know, for product, you probably, all of us, when we're shooting product, we're probably going to be, and I'm talking full frame 35 now, full frame, 35 millimeter, 50 millimeter, 60 millimeter, and 85 would probably be the limit of where we're going to do most of our product. Is there a place for a 135 or a 200? Probably now and then there would be a product that would benefit from it, as long as you have a long enough studio. And by the way, no photographer on the planet has a studio long enough. Just ask them. It is impossible. They will never say, oh yeah, my studio's too long. Ain't happening. Nope. Very nice. Good job, Dan.
Thanks.
All right, Ceramibrite, here we go. Patrick Matthews, nice clean background. Patrick, looks like we got a little brickwork coming through. Patrick, are you out there? No? Okay. All right, Patrick, looks good. Your whites look nice and bright through here. Your label looks pretty good. It's a little soft down here. I'd probably bring this contrast back in here a little bit. Looks like we're getting a lot of reflection off the surface in front here, and it's picking up in that shiny black paper. Everything else looks pretty good. Nice highlights to the side. Nice separation from the background. Good. Very good. Nice traditional lighting. 2 lights from the side. Big fill card up above. Oh, and the fake background, fake bricks. Very cool. Carla Cordero.
Hi, Don.
Hi, Carla. How are you?
Very good. And you?
Very good. Look at this pretty shot. You got the little bit of leaves coming in over here. All of these things. Your light looks just great on this. This label looks great.
Thank you. It was a bit tricky, though.
Yeah, I mean, when you ask most people, you say, "Oh, yeah, no, I'm going to take a picture of a bottle of shampoo." They'll look at you sideways, like, how hard is that? Well, as you all can see, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. To do it correctly. I mean, take it outside with your iPhone, hold it in a hand, and take a shot. Yeah, but there's lots that can be done better. This looks so nice in here. I'm looking at all your contrast in here. Background, your sweep looks great. Wonderful little gradation all the way up to the dark up here. So it's dark, it comes down, it gets lighter, but your bottle stays perfect in front of it. Really, really clean.
Thank you.
Lens?
24,105 at 99.
All right. Yeah, 100 would have been too much, Carla. It'd have been way off, but 99 was perfect. Very good.
Thank you.
Very good. Ah, nice.
Yeah.
So your white, your little boxes here weren't doing enough. You added a little pop to the cards.
Yeah, it was kind of like facing towards the aluminum because I wasn't getting enough in the flowers. So I needed a little bit more pop in the flowers. So I had to add.
Very good. Yeah,
something.
Really nice. I have a really good friend, product photographer. If you ever saw a Fender guitar from 1980 through about 2005, he shot the guitar for the catalogs, etc. He didn't shoot the rock and roll players with the guitar. He just shot the guitars. He shot all of the Ryobi lawn equipment for 10 years. I mean, very much a big product shooter. He doesn't have a softbox. He lights with foam core. Everything he does is sheets of foam core with lights against it, just like you're doing here. So you can do product photography with the very minimal amount of stuff. Everything he did was foam core. Light bounced in the foam core.
Okay, that's cool.
Very good. All right.
Thank you.
EJ? Is this the picture? Okay. Sutterfield. Is EJ here? EJ, okay. Your highlights are localized to the top here, and we get that very bright thing coming down the front. We really want to get this to look great. We've got white here, and it's kind of gray here. We need to get that light back onto this. Now you can do it post-wise with something like careful cutting of the front out and then moving it up, changing it, getting it brighter, etc. Or you could use nick and grab it, a little part right here and a little part right there and a little part right there, and then joining them and bringing them all up. It's like I say, nick can be it's Vivesa. When you get nick, it's the Vivesa tool, not nick itself, but the Vivesa tool within nick is like an electronic fill card. It's very, very well done how it works. And I think it's that looks like we got a light from the back. Okay, silver reflector, camera left. See, and that's the silver reflector doing what silver reflectors do. That one little spot of light right there is all that the silver reflector is doing, because the rest of it is black. It's not doing anything. Silver is a specular light source. It's just like a light itself. All right, very good.
Hey, Don, if he would have curved the silver reflector, would that have made a difference?
Maybe, but then you'd have this very hot. I mean, it's too poppy. It's too poppy. Yeah. Silver reflectors are very specialized tools, very specialized. And that would have been much better with a white card. All right. Lauren.
Yes, sir.
Nicely done, Lauren. Got a nice set going here. The towels look nicely lit. Top light here. We can see the light coming over here and filling this in. Bubbles look good. Good shot, Lauren. Good shot. You'll have to work with the art director to know how they want it. But whenever you set something up, before you spray it with the water, get a shot of it standing there with no water on it. Some art directors will be, oh, I really love that, but I don't like that one rivulet, right? So you have that label that you can pull in here to clean up this. He may love the spots over here, the drops, but not like them over here. Okay, you've got that. You put that layer below it, and you just paint it back in here. So always get one.
I do have that one with. I don't have the water on it.
Good. Then you can give the art director anything they want. And in this business, folks, that's what we do. We
Yeah, in
give
fact,
them what they want.
In fact, I took that and I actually took a picture every time I did something a little bit different on the set.
Excellent. That's the best way to do it. Looks good. I love your little bit of light popping back here. Let's look at you behind the scenes here. So you've got a strobe in here.
I've got a strobe coming in at about a 45-degree angle. So all the, I've got, then I've got a muslin scrim that's basically doing all the lighting because I shot a little bit in the feather of the light.
Okay.
And then I've got my LED panel, camera right.
Okay. And it's doing the heavy lifting for this highlight over here?
Yes.
Ah, very cool.
Hey, Don, could unmute, this is my first sit-in, so thank you.
Sure.
Just comment on the bubbles on Lauren's great shot there.
Mm-hmm.
My first impression was are they too gray? I appreciate your comments.
Are they too what?
Gray. I.e., are they colored right in your opinion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to have the color of what's underlying them. So the greens and stuff, yeah, that'll be fine.
No, the bubbles at the base of the product.
Down here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they look right to me.
Okay.
They look right to me. You know, when you get, when you're working with different layers of different levels, Richard, we got, let's say we have the highest level art director for, this is going to be an ad in 40 consumer magazines over the next year, right? That fee to Lauren is probably somewhere in the $35,000 to $50,000 range for usage, right? Because the ad agency, the company, for 40 consumer magazines is probably spending, what's 4 times, well, 1.2 million, about $12,000 per, about, yeah, $1.2 million. At on $1.2 million, every bubble is going to be perfect. So when you're shooting for a local boutique or a spa, for instance, they don't have that kind of budget. You're not shooting for that kind of budget and will be less, but you can get stuff sent back to you by the art director because you turn it in and the art director will have a circle here and a line here and then, bring this out here and pull that down and over here, make this more red and a CMYK color there, make these more white and this darken this, put a highlight here. You'll get unbelievable instructions generally done in something like Zoom or Adobe Acrobat with all kinds of instructions to it. And you know how I handle that? I send it to a retoucher. That's what they love to do. I don't want to sit here for 6 hours doing retouching because I can't make any money at it. I will send it out. And in the big agency doesn't matter. The spa isn't going to be that picky. The spa isn't going to go, oh, let's get a little gradient in these bubbles and can we pull this up 5 points and all that? They're not going to do that. So there's different levels of stuff that we shoot at. This is a very nice shot. Good
Don,
question, Richard.
or Lauren, there's a gap between the background tile and the ground of it. Would you leave that or would you try and close that?
I left, actually what I did, yeah, that's part of the set. What I did is that's actually 2 pieces of tile that are butted up against each other. And then
Right.
I took a brush and kind of got a combination color. And I used a brush just to draw a line to make it look like it's grout.
Oh, okay.
Well, if you want to grout it, you know how to grout it?
Toothpaste.
Toothpaste, yep. Yep. It comes right off. Yeah, very good. Really good.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Stephen.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Oh, and Tylenol. All right, we got some Tylenol. Steven, you here?
Yes, I am.
Yes, you are. There we go. Let's look at you behind the scenes. Ooh,
That's not it.
there we go. All right, there we go. Okay, and you don't have the pills out there on the behind the scenes.
No, this was actually the interim shot. When I thought I was done, went back to the computer and said, "Ugh, I got to go fix this."
Okay. So you added the pills. The only thing about the pills is I think they're too bright.
Yeah.
You should be able to isolate them, because the thing about it is we're seeing the stuff in the shadows. We're seeing it in the shadow, but we're not seeing it here. You got to bring these down. The other reason is the brightest thing that we want to have on here, Stephen, is that logo. That's what we want to just jump out at the people. And right now, it's the pills. So we don't make them gray. We do not want to make them gray. We just want to bring them down so we can see the stuff. Are you Lightroom or Photoshop?
Either one's fine.
In Lightroom, I would probably just brush them all.
I did try, and what I really needed to do was go back and reshoot it with a little less light there, and then put the two things together.
Okay.
Because when I tried the Lightroom, they just went gray real fast.
Okay.
Even at a quarter stop, it was like, okay, I'm wasting my time.
Do you bracket?
Not in this case, no.
Yeah, I always recommend in product photography bracket, but bracket by light or ISO. Don't bracket by, well, you can't bracket by shutter speed if you're using strobe because it doesn't matter. Right. And you don't want to bracket by aperture because that matters.
That changes the focus. Yeah.
Exactly. So you can do it with ISO, shoot at 100 ISO, shoot at 50 ISO, shoot at 200 ISO. Your cameras will all, I don't think anybody here is shooting anything old enough that would matter. I don't know if you could get cards for anything old enough that would matter. And then you have that bracket that you can use. And even if the darker bracket wasn't what you wanted for the bottle, below the image, you put it below the image, just kind of paint those things back just a little bit at a time. Yeah, good lighting. I would have moved your lights a little more to the side, Stephen. They're coming a little bit in front for my taste. I'd have moved them over to here so that these edges here don't go perfectly black there. Get a little more light on them. And the other thing is way back here, two little whiteboards way in the background so that the angle of distance or angle of incident lighting the boards, they light the back edge of this, and they just put that little bitty highlight right on it, pops it from the background.
Okay.
All right, very good. Oops, come on. There we go. Rain-X. David Hayden. David, you here? Okay. I bought Rain-X for my motorcycle. And I Rain-X the hell out of my windshield because I thought, man, I'm tired of riding in the rain and my windshield gets all rain. I can't see through it. When you're riding on a motorcycle in the rain, visibility of the road is fairly high on the priority list. Trust me. And it didn't do a damn thing to mine. I got in the rain. It just looked like I'd never done it. So nicely done here, David. Clean highlights all the way down. I like your graphic behind. Did a pretty good job of lining it up for sure. However, this is I don't want to say it's an easy fix, but it's a bit of an easy fix. We got to fix that cap. We can't have all this crap in the cap. It's got to be absolutely perfect. And the same with over here. I would say the healing brush is going to be your friend, especially in here. Heal this up here. Healing brush is going to be your friend. And then right down on the cap itself, I would move the cap to a new layer and run a frequency separation on it. And just really clean that cap up a little bit. You might be able to do it all with the healing brush, but having a frequency separation will pick up all these little darker areas and the stuff, really clean that up nice. All righty. All right, good. You got one up a little higher than the other, so that changes the highlights just a little bit, which is nice to have. A little brighter highlight here, a little bit darker over there, and it gives us dimension. Good job, David. Greg.
Hi, Don. How are you?
I'm good, Greg. How are you doing, buddy?
Very good.
What are those?
They're little pellets that you put in your laundry to make it, or yeah, into your washer to make it smell nice, I guess.
Have the young people started eating these yet?
I'm sure you want to keep it away from your babies.
Got it. All right.
They look like those things that used to snap in your mouth that the kids used to have, right?
They kind of look like Tic Tacs.
Yeah. They're smaller than Tic Tacs, though.
All right, well,
Pop Rocks.
Yeah, Pop Rocks. There you go.
the hell you could create with some of these. Anyway, really nice. The nice use of the little black negative on the edge to pull it off the back. Cool. Very cool. Great logo. For those of you who don't know Greg is a commercial photographer in Kansas City and a tabletop specialist. So this is his world here. And I can tell because that's really well done.
So Don, I did not focus stack this, and I wondered, I could have probably focus stacked and got a little more depth out of that pile of stuff. Does it bother you at all?
No, not at all. No, looks sharp enough to me back there. Where are you talking about? In front? Are we a little bit out in front, or is it the back right at the edges here?
Yeah, at the back, right at the edges.
Well, sometimes focus stacking, can be used to give a really new and different look at something because we're not used to seeing photographs with that much dimension that close up. But on something like this, I think having it go out of focus just makes this look more powerful, doesn't it? I think it does.
Yeah.
A little bit of focus. And I really can't see the focus going out there, so must be very slight.
Well, I think I shot it at like f/16 anyway, but
Okay. I heard a guy on a class say that you should only ever shoot at f/11, and I stopped watching the class.
So I'm the one guy that shot this at 200 millimeter.
Well, there you go. You got the room. Nothing wrong with that. But really, you can see what it does to the picture too, folks. It really just brings that absolute graphic to it. If you have home studios, angle your set so that you can go out the door into your, like my office here. I could go out the door and shoot from the living room with a 200 millimeter and try it. These are pretty cool things. If you're going to do it, this would be the type of subject to do it on too, by the way. Really nice. So 200 millimeter. Notice how Greg has his soft boxes turned askew from the scrims, and that's giving a little bit of a more soft highlight. How are you getting the really bright highlight here, Greg? Is that the scrim move forward a little bit?
Well, it's interesting. I would have expected it to be a lot more of a faded gradation across there. And that, the wrapper on that bottle is, it's more shiny than you'd expect. When you just hold it in your hand, it doesn't seem shiny. But when you put a light on it, it gets pretty bright in a hurry. So no, I wouldn't say those scrims are really forward. I kept moving those lights back, the two side strip lights, in order to try to get it to feather out even more. But when I put a little bit of contrast on this, they just sharpen right back up again.
Yep. Oh, good shot. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Well, look at this. We got a shot against white, and we go over here, we get a nice shot against black. Nice highlights through here. Jim Hill. Jim, are you here?
You hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, I can.
Okay.
All right, so there we go. Cool. So we're getting a little bit of that ridge from, your label looks good. It's a little bit dark right up here, but I think you can fix that easy. You know, whereas the words are getting a little darker, I think you can fix that easy in Photoshop. Bottle looks pretty good. I can't tell up close. Looks like there's a little bit of a scratch or something there, but that might not be it. Is that where it opens? Is that the little indentation there?
Yes.
Pull that up a little bit because we want to see that, right?
Okay.
So just dodge it a little bit, you know, to pull that up. See that secondary white line you have there on the edge?
Yes.
Perfect. That just pulls it right off the back. You have it all the way down here. You don't have it on this side. And I wish you did. But your background isn't perfectly black either. So your bottle stands out from the background very well. And I like that. As long as we don't lose the bottle into the background, we're okay. So you're okay here because your background's a super, super dark gray. What worries me is the possibility that if you went to print this, we would not see that separation because it would be too minor of a separation for the printer to pick up. But good shot. I mean, you came down low and it's on a sweep, is it?
On a sweep?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Like a.
There we go. Very good. Yeah.
The plastic poster board.
Okay. One thing about sweeps is when I started using sweeps and when I see people starting using sweeps, and I don't know if this is your first time or you've been doing it for 40 years, I don't know. But what I see them do generally is they'll drop it down and they'll bring it over here like this. So what you have here is a very sharp corner. No matter what you put up here, if you don't think black paper will reflect, you're kidding yourself. Somewhere in that curve, you're going to get a picture of the angle of incidence, angle of reflection back there, black paper reflecting that softbox, right? So what you do is you bring the paper down like this. And you put your product there. And then you don't have that curve. Or if you do have that magic point, it's way the heck up here. So angle of incidence, angle of reflection.
Mm-hmm.
And it just disappears. So.
I found a real nice piece of black plastic yesterday at the Habitat for Humanity store. That's about 4 foot long. So for $10.
It's like a vinyl?
Yeah.
Those are great because you can clean them.
Right.
Yeah, you can shoot on those for 10 years. Really nice.
So I'll be able to smooth out the angle a little bit there.
Yep. Really good. Thanks, Jim. What camera and lens, sir?
It's a Sony a6400, and I shot it at about 50 millimeter. It's like my kit lens, but it's like right at 50 millimeter.
Okay. And just clean up that front of that label a little bit.
I was going to say that light kit I had there.
Yeah.
That's one of the ones that you recommended on the your page there.
Ah. The continuous lights?
Yeah, so it's $144 Amazon.
It's like with the stands, right?
Yeah, it had the stands.
It's freaking insane. It's freaking insane. And when I started my business, I cannot tell you how much more stuff cost back 45 years ago than it costs today. It's cheaper today than it was then. 3 lights, 3 soft boxes, 3 bulbs, or did you get 6 bulbs?
It says the 2 on the side have 5 bulbs.
Yeah.
It has 5 different switches on it, so you can
turn them all on, turn one down.
Right.
Amazing. All that and stands for $150. That's, I don't know. That's crazy. That's crazy. I have this set. You got 1 boom with it, right?
Right.
Yep. I have the same set. I got to tell you, folks, I love them. They're really great set up for stuff. You have to be a little careful with continuous light because it can tend to get flat because of long exposure times. Right? In digital, longer exposure times will make the image just a little bit flat, but not so flat you can't just like hit the channel, make a little S curve, and you're right back there. Really great. Good for you, man. Glad you got them.
Thanks.
Now, remember, I have to remind everybody, because this is what I did for the first two. Just because we got 3, Jim, doesn't mean we have to use all 3. So there'll be times when you just want to use one, and your gut's going to be going, yeah, but I got 2 over there. No, let it go. Just let it.
That's what I struggle with. I want to use all 3.
Yeah, correct. Hell yeah. First year I had my battle cards. That's all I had 3 heads. Every shot I did had 3 heads. It's like eventually you got to go, okay, wait a minute. Everything's starting to look the same. Very nice. Joey C.
Hey Don, picture
Hey.
dropped to the picture dropped to the bottom because I had re-uploaded it.
Oh, is that the bottom?
Yeah, I thought it would go in line with the name, but it didn't.
Oh, that's interesting. Why did it not do that?
I don't know.
Weird. Okay, well, let's look at Joe's picture here, and then we'll bounce back to it. Joe is a commercial photographer up in northern New York, north part of New York, and has been with Project 52 for a couple of years. His lighting is sophisticated as hell here. Really knows what he's doing. We'll get to the, is it Windex?
No, it's OxyClean.
OxyClean. We'll get to the
Laundry.
bottle here at the bottom.
Okay.
We'll bounce back up here
Okay.
to get this.
There's a little black card above it to get. There's a little like ridge on the yellow cap on the top of the sprayer, just to make that pop out a little bit. Put that black card on top.
Excellent. We'll get down there and grab that. Oh, you know what the heck? We should go down and grab it right now since we're looking at that behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Now they're all gone.
Here we go.
Long way to go. There you go.
So that's what he's talking about. It's what that little dark thing up above is doing, is bringing out that little ridge right there. They won't pay us to do an okay job, because with digital photography, it's very easy to do an okay job. What they pay us for is to do an extraordinary job, and paying attention like Joe did here with a little dark line at the top, and to bring that highlight out, paying attention. All of this detail through here. Look how beautiful the label looks. This is why we ask for money right there. Good job, Joe.
Thank you.
Super, super good. Sorry, I went up too high. That one, right? Bob Royer. Hey, Bob,
Hi.
how you doing?
I'm here, yes.
So this bottle is a very diffuse material, right? Real textury.
Yeah, I had to search a bit to find a very matte bottle, but and I got to tell you, I photographed at least 3 or 4 different bottles. I've never done this before. Found it incredibly difficult to get anything I thought was half decent. So.
But you did. Doesn't look bad at all. And you can tell, I mean, we got a shiny, semi-shiny rubber cap up here, right?
Right.
So it reflects the light way different than this bottle. So the moment I saw this bottle, I knew that this bottle had a texture to it, matte. It was a matte bottle. Is it metal or plastic?
It's plastic.
So I knew it was a matte thing here. You have done a very good job here. I think one of the things that I would have you do, and you'll never make this mistake again once I show you, is you see how you got this beautiful highlight on this side of the cap?
Right.
Even that white line right there, right? On this side of the cap, we don't know where the cap ends and the background begins.
Okay.
So way back here, you just need a little white board. So if we were looking down at the picture here, this white board would be like something like this. So camera here, right?
Right.
Angle of incidence, angle of reflection. It's just
Okay.
going to bounce a little edge off of that thing is going to light that whiteboard up. It's not in the picture, it's out of the picture, you know?
Yes.
You're not picking it up. And that would give you on both sides, because this is just happening from the light itself on this side. But on both sides, it'd give you that little snap right on the edge. Just a little snap that pulls it right back off the background. What lens and, oh, here we go, 70 millimeter f11. All right. It's a good time to ask. Did you guys have fun doing these?
It is. It's a lot of fun for me. I'm enjoying this immensely.
Good, good.
Yes, we have fun.
It is a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. It's a challenge, isn't it? It's always, you know, it's like trying something different, which is so important, I think, these days, is that we try something different. All right, Paul Mantrip. Paul, are you here? Paul? Okay. Paul, you've got a little bit of a bright light on the top that's too bright because it's the brightest highlight on the picture. All of this looks pretty good down here. I don't know. I think that is actually the material coming up, reflecting up into the bottle. Highlights on the side look real good here. That is, I think, using a gold reflector. Be careful because it adds color to the picture. Gold is usually not a good idea for product photography because it adds a new color to it. Not a good thing here. Highlights look pretty good. Again, with those cards to the back to give us that edge on both sides could help the bottle stand out. But we got to pull that top reflection down. That's too bright and that's too bright. All right. All righty. And that's putting that light into the ceiling is just too much power there. Carmen.
Yes.
Is my Carmen here? Oh,
yes.
There she is. What time is it over there?
7:30.
It doesn't matter.
7:30 p.m.
Doesn't matter. You can't go outside anyway.
She's got to have something to do.
And I had a job this afternoon, and it was like, I said, I have to catch the 4 o'clock train because I was in Monaco, and I'm like, I want to get home, and I need shopping, and I need to be home by, the melting hour, the Cinderella hour.
And Carmen, when I first met Carmen, she was shooting portraits in Albuquerque, and now she lives in the south of France shooting. I don't want to take a lot of credit for that. I'm just saying the south of France just isn't that bad a place to live.
Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah. And as long as
I'm not in
there, it's even better.
Albuquerque. I've never been to Albuquerque. Just saying.
And she suffers going to Monaco, right, Carmen?
It's
somebody has to do it. It's just a terrible life.
Well, the prince gets so lonely, and he's got to have his friends around him. Nicely done, really, really pretty. I love. See, this is growth in photography. This is when you know what you're doing and get that cap to show it. Every little bit of the cap shows. This is really nice. Is this a local product?
No, I don't know. It was hotel, the little stuff you get in the hotel.
Yeah.
And I had lots of them. So I was like, okay, instead of doing one, it was like, let's just line them all up. And that's what took the time, lining them up and twisting them. And I'm like, where's my tweezer?
Yes. Yeah. I love it. You've got the R coming right to the edge, and every single one of them is matched perfectly. It's like eventually you get to the point where the lighting is easy. It's getting the things to look right in front of the camera without inadvertently touching this one when you're almost finished.
Oh, I did. I spend more time arranging the thing than lighting it.
Well, yeah.
And then I have a new toy. You'll see it in the BTS that you see that thing on my lens?
Yeah.
It's silver on the other side.
Oh.
So I had my top light kind of leaning forward to kick some light back in, kick some light onto the white board. And it did make a difference because I shut off all the lights just to see the effect of the one light on the silver thingy, and sure enough, it lit
Sure.
up the front.
Yeah, and that's a good point. What Carmen said there is something that you should think about doing. As you add a light, take a picture. So you start with, you're going to start with whichever light you start with, take a picture. Add a second light, take a picture. Add a third light, take a picture. Move them around, take a picture. We used to do it with Polaroid, and that cost us money every time. Now you do it digitally, and you can just see it. If you want to know what your ambient is doing, let's say you're in a room and you've got some windows open, but you're shooting at f8 at a 2/50th of a second, well, it's probably not going to record anything, right? We'll find out. Do a shot of it with no strobes going off. Is there a capture on there? Because that little bit of capture will stay with your image. You're just going to build on top of it. If it's super dark and you can barely make it out, it won't make any difference anyway. You're just going to blow it out with your lighting. This is very cool. Do you know those things you can get at Target? Presentation boards? Anybody? They bend three ways.
Yeah.
Get one of those, and in the back of it, where it bends out, the back here, just put a little bit of a long thing like that, and a little long thing like this, so you can put your lens in, put it up and down a little bit, and put that in front of your camera when you're shooting glass bottles and stuff like that. Believe me, it's easier to take out that little area where the camera was than to retouch the entire bottle. It's easier to match it.
Brilliant. So the
Can you do
reflection.
that for me?
And you can just
You can
take
even put a piece of printer paper after you put your lens in and get it positioned. Just put a little piece of printer paper to fill a spot.
That way you don't have all that background reflected.
Yep.
In your studio.
Yep.
Yeah.
And don't wear red. Just saying.
Yeah.
All right, nicely done, Carmen.
I still
Beautiful.
don't understand
If there
what
was
it
anything with
is.
the I was a little concerned with the bottle caps, but they're okay.
They're okay.
I said maybe
Yeah.
I should have had a black card to outline them.
Well, I mean, that's a choice, right? The problem with them lined up like this, you're going to get a black line here, but you're not going to get one here.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, you're going to have to, maybe if you put it all the way in the back, maybe I would try it. If you did it like the white card in the back, maybe you get a little edge there. But the best way to shoot this, if you were shooting this for a client, how would you shoot it?
One at a time.
One at a time.
I was just getting ready to say I give Carmen credit for shooting all of these in one shot.
Absolutely. If you can't do them all in one shot, then you're if you can't do it the old school way, then you're just not really into the new way, because you're just following a pattern. Know how to do it so you know why you're doing it, then it makes total sense. But yeah, Carmen, if you were shooting this for these guys, you'd probably shoot them one at a time and float them on there. That way you could even line up these, because these don't perfectly line up there, you know. They're
I was thinking of just cutting it out in Photoshop, you know, just kind of running a strip across and cutting it and making them totally straight. But that was the product. The product was mismanufactured.
Yeah, or just a piece of masking tape. I mean, what the hell? It'll look nice.
Carmen, what is the name of your gizmo or your new toy?
Oh, I was on AliExpress and it showed up because I was looking for those cards. On Amazon, they're like $11. If you on AliExpress, you can get them for like $3 or $4. And it showed up in the thing. So I got it at AliExpress.
Cool.
So it folds up really cute, you know, like, so you can have it. And I was just thinking, if I do portraits, you know, and I'm just, you hold it, you get your light coming in, it'll bounce back right back at them, and don't have to have the reflector.
I think I think it's too small to do away with your reflector, but I think it'd be great for headshots or anything up close.
Well, that's what I thought for just a simple headshot.
Yep.
That if I can move them around, you know, but you're always kicking something.
And you get
back
that little
without...
circle in the eyes, and you feel like that fashion photographer guy, the headshot guy, whatever his name is.
Okay.
Peter something.
Harley.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, thanks.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Marjorie.
And what took the longest was doing the lining them up.
Absolutely.
Everything else was like, I finally arrived. You know, it only took me 100 years to.
The thing that's going to drive you crazy is when you get something where the logo goes farther around the item than will come towards the camera. You know, that's not your fault. There's no magic. You're just going to have to cut something off. You have to work with the art director to figure out what to cut off. There's no magic to it. If it goes farther around, if these things went another quarter inch, it's nothing you could do, right? They're going to wrap around. So don't beat yourself up. Just figure out how to offer suggestions. Marjorie, are you out there?
Yes, I am. Hi, Don.
Marjorie. How are you?
I'm good.
I don't think you're bright enough.
I do have a brighter one, but
Okay.
I kind of liked it. I don't know.
No, I don't.
I thought the other one was too bright. Okay.
Well, the background with the stuff and the towel, that's not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But my brain says that baby powder is whiter than that.
Yeah.
Because I have an 18-month-old or an 8-month-old granddaughter, and there's one sitting in the living room.
Yeah.
So what I would do, honestly, I think I would just bring up the bottle because the background looks kind of cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, a soft, muted gray. You know, if we bring it up too bright, we're going to lose these crystals.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe try it a little bit brighter, but it's the bottle itself and it's really just the face of the bottle. I like what you did. You lit the face, you let the background go a little bit, the side of it go dark. There's no reason to light it up. There's no writing over there, but you kept that great little highlight right there to give us shape and texture. You got a little highlight right here. The only thing is, I think that highlight's too dark. I don't think the highlight looks like a highlight. I think bring up this bottle and you'll have it made. And this is for Marjorie and anybody here. If you're going to go back and work on it, stick it into Facebook, tag me, and I'll come in and take a look at what you did. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. There's another thing I was concerned about because I wanted to see the top of the holes in
the holes up here.
Yeah.
Well, you'd have to change your camera angle.
Yeah, but I was just, I said, would they want to see the holes? But
yeah, I think for the effect here that you're doing, where it's coming out of here, I don't think you showed enough at the top.
Yeah, and real estate, I thought more real estate up top. Yeah.
Yep, more real estate up top. The rule of thumb for shooting commercial for everyone on this class, whether you go on to shoot it or not, the rule of thumb for shooting commercial is leave crop room. Leave crop room. If it looks good in the camera, awesome. Take a step back. If you've got it composed perfectly in the camera and you go, that's my shot, great, take a step back. When you look through the camera at a commercial shot, it should look wrong to you. It should look like there's too much space around it. Because when you give this to the art director, Marjorie, art director might go, oh, this is really cool, and want to run a vertical. And they don't have any room to do it. So number one rule of working with art directors is to do that. Okay, you're bouncing the light into the ceiling. That's giving you an overall sort of a ambient feel to it. And then the light coming in from the window over here for the main. And then this is catching the reflection of that, I guess.
Right.
All right, very cool. I wish my studio looked like that. Wouldn't it be nice if we had studios that looked like that? You know, a little fireplace in the corner. It's instead of some industrial thing with a roll-up door. You know, it's just wrong.
I wish my living room looked like that.
Very nice, Marjorie. What lens?
The 200. I'm one of those with the 200.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's go back and look at it. Now, it's very nice and graphically put in there. If you're going to show the top of it, probably the 200 would have been wrong, because if you came up, it would foreshorten that bottle so drastically. With the 200. Yeah, very good. Yeah, pop it up a little bit brighter and let me know about it.
Okay.
Gerardo Enrique Soto.
Hi, Don. How are you?
Very good. Where are you on the beach, or are you faking us with the Facebook thing?
I wish I was in the beach. It's a picture I took a while ago.
Okay. So you had your chance. You had your chance. You could have said, "I'm on my second yacht, the small one I keep down in Bermuda." That's all right.
I wish I was there actually.
All right. Really good working with the foils right in here. Just fix it in Photoshop. Just fix it in Photoshop. That's where I was saying, if the lens comes through, just fix it in Photoshop. You could have turned it a little bit more, but I'm glad you didn't. I think that's just something we're going to have to deal with right there in Photoshop. Also, when you're shooting, take a white card, like a piece of 8x10 printer paper, photo paper, and put it right down on top of the lens. Sometimes the angle is right and it'll pick up most of this will come right back from that white paper. Sometimes it doesn't, but it's worth a shot.
Yeah.
This looks nice through here. You've got everything. You've kept the label on this side of the bottle. A little reflection here, which gives it depth. Yeah, this is pretty well done, man. Nice little highlight here. Nothing wrong with the shot. No, we get this fixed up right here. There's nothing wrong with the shot. Very clean. I like your angle too. You're coming in just a little bit right about there. So it's making the bottle look nice and tall. Look at the roundness of the bottle down here. Are you using a 50 or are you going a little wider than that?
Actually, I'm using a 24.
24, okay.
But in a crop sense, and it's a tilt and shift.
It's a tilt shift 24 on a crop sensor?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, it's about a 38. Yeah.
Kind of, yes.
Yeah. Nicely done. All this looks really great in here.
There's two behind the scenes because you couldn't see the product in there, so I took one from the top too, so you can see how it's set.
So we got a light coming into the scrim and lighting the setup. I don't think there's another light, is there?
No, just one.
Just one? Yeah. Very clean, man. Like your set. This is a good set.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have one. The next one is from the top.
Yeah, when you use a top, generally when you use a top light, one light's not going to be enough unless you have, tons of fill cards, especially for a bottle like this. But you come a little bit from the side and the top because you're aiming for the top of this. So as you get farther away from this, it gets less light and just gradates down. But on the bottle that you're shooting, the gradation doesn't really show because it's a very, it's a textured bottle. It's got a little tooth to it, diffuse. Nicely done, sir.
Thank you.
Yep, nicely done. JT Media. Nice and really nice and clean up here.
On it,
Is that JT?
Jennifer. It is. I'm here.
All right. Sounds like you got a bad audio connection there, Jennifer. Kill your video and see if we get a little better audio connection.
What do I have? Okay, sorry. Yeah, I waited as long as I could. I'm in a bad location.
That's all right. You sound better now.
Is it better?
Sounds much better. Much better. This up at the top, you are
good.
Right at the edge of making this work. So bright up there. But it's cleanly done. I love the way the highlights
So
right here because your logo looks great.
I debated. There's actually a second shot. Yeah, it does. Okay. I couldn't tell if it was too soft
No.
Like everything started to look real gray.
Yeah, no, I think you brought it up just fine. I think that I would highlight, or not highlight, I think I would cut the cap out, float it, and just bring a little bit of a, see how this soft gray here and this soft gray down here? Just bring a little bit of that gray back into the background there. And then this cap will just pop off the background. So we don't want to make it gray at all. We just want to take this real soft, very light, almost just pale, you know, just a little bit darker white behind it, because you've got so many bright whites here.
Yeah.
That'll just pop off here. This all looks good through here. Everything looks nice and even. Good job. Is okay. Godox 80, Canon 850. Very good. And I think is that your background shot in the, are you behind the scenes here?
It is.
All right, let's get that. Okay. You know what you can do? Fly a flag in here. Next time you're doing this, you can fly a flag. Right here, a little something, a little stick, a little tiny piece of wire that runs over and puts a little soft square like that to block the light from hitting that part of it. And you may have to change the shape of it a little bit now and then. It might be killing too much light. It maybe even be tracing paper works really, really well. And then you just block that light. That would be the way I would do it in camera without having to resort to the Photoshop stuff. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
We lost your audio, Jennifer. And I think we just lost Jennifer.
I know, I'm sorry.
That's
yes,
all
that
right.
makes sense.
That's all right. Try that and put it in Facebook and tag me, all right? What is going on here?
I think if you hit the arrows on the top right hand corner, will that bring it down? Do it right below your mouse.
Well, that just brings it to full screen.
Escape.
Maybe hit the exit button.
There we go. There it came back. All right. Don't know why that happened, but it did. All right. So this is
That's mine, Dawn. Hi, it's Ilona.
Ilona. Okay.
Yeah, I think mine, the final product is 2 more down. I don't know. It's 1 more. If you go 1 more, somehow it skipped. So
that one?
Yes.
All right. So let's look at this for, oh, that's so pretty. That's so pretty with that that glowing light. Look at that.
Right. I was hoping that gives me the edges nicer, but I kind of feel like in the middle, is that clear enough, or should I had another light up front to illuminate that as well?
I don't know. I don't know. I like the way this looks. I think this might be a little bit dark, but this is a perfect case for a very light touch of burning and dodging. Because I think if you put a white card up here, we're going to kill a lot of this shine coming on. We're going to too much light on it. So I think I would probably like somehow get that to be a little bit lighter. Maybe cut it out, move it up, just lighten it a little bit, you know. floating over the top, but not very much, Alona, not very much at all.
Okay. Yes,
Let's
I was.
go back here. So you've got a Lume Cube and, okay, 5000K
Yeah,
LEDs.
yeah, Home Depot cheap lights kind of last resort thing.
These are great. I love these things. Very first thing I ever sold as a consumer product was a DVD on how to use Home Depot lights to make professional portraits.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I sold about 600 of those things online.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, these are great. These are great. This is the cheapest lighting you can get. And once you put it behind a scrim, who cares? It doesn't matter anymore. The scrim is your light source, right?
Right. And it worked pretty well. I mean, I put it far enough to still get plenty of light, but not have it too hot.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Yep. And you know what you do is you go to IKEA and you
mhm.
buy one of those cheap dome lights that they have like at IKEA for hanging for whatever. Make a little mount, you put the cheap dome over it, and now you got a beautiful light to control. IKEA has really great lighting modifiers, folks. They think they're made for living rooms and bathrooms. They're made for photography.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, I like your little Lume Cube back here. That's just, it's aiming at the paper, or is it behind the paper?
It's behind the paper, so I have kind of a transparent background a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I put it behind it just to give the glow to separate the product from the background.
Beautifully done. Look at that. Really well done.
Thank you.
Solid job, Alona. Really solid.
Very happy. Thank you, because I had a
Yeah.
hard time. It's the first time.
Well,
Right.
you muscled through.
Thank you.
Nicely done. Rick. Rick, are you here? Yeah, there
I'm
he is.
here. Yeah.
That's very clever with the logo going in the background there. Nicely done. Nicely done. The bottle looks great too, by the way. Everything through here looks good. Are you a product shooter?
I've done some, but not a lot. Nothing for clients. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Well, you've got some skills here that are showing through real well. The bottle looks great. The logo and all of the stuff on it looks really, really good. And I really like the idea of the logo, logo icon jumping through the background. Very cool. Very cool.
Thank you.
All right. How did you put the, is that Photoshop then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I apologize. I got an alarm ringing here. Wall chime.
Yeah, really well. And what's your camera?
In this case, it was a crop sensor, a Canon 7D 24 to 70L, shot at 45. So
Okay.
about a 70 equivalent.
Yep.
Those are
Great.
homemade scrims.
Really nice use
Panels.
of soft horizon here. Really, really nice. And then the reflection coming back, I take that's done in Photoshop as well, right?
It is, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, really well done. Nice, man. Clean. Nature's Blend. Adi.
Yeah, hi there.
Hi there. Okay. Yeah, you're going with one hot light up here. It's a little poppy there for me, but this is a very popular way right now to shoot these things. You'll see a lot of stuff, especially on Amazon, etc., shot this way. So that's the only thing for me. It looks like a round light. Is this a beauty dish?
Yes, actually, it is a beauty dish. And well, if you go to the next behind the scenes,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this was, well, what I should have done was posted one of my, I ended up shooting a number of different bottles, and I should have ended up posting one of my my later efforts, because I ended up, well, I tried making like a seamless with the cloth, and didn't like it, especially when I tried shooting, color through it, and I ended up dropping it and shooting against a actually a projector screen.
Mhm.
Yeah, but yeah.
Okay. So is this the setup for that shot, or?
It's pretty much this the same setup, yes, except like I said, I dropped the cloth and back, put down a blue
Mhm.
a blue piece of
Okay.
cardboard and some plexiglass.
All right. So I want you to look at your set here. Okay. You have the bottle here. We're looking down from the top, camera coming in this way. And then you have white cards doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This card's actually tilting in, so it's not going to get the full blast of that. I would probably tilt this card out so it gets lit up. Remember, the idea is that this light lights these cards up.
Mm-hmm.
These lights lighting these cards up, angle of incidence is angle of reflection.
Mm-hmm.
This in the camera. If we turn these cards like this, then angle of incidence is angle of reflection.
Right.
And what that means is these guys are going to light up. They're going to see this and come in, see this and come in. Because on your shot, because they're not angled, right, they're not really doing anything.
Yeah,
they're not
so
really
the
being
edge
reflected back into the cans. It's not really happening. So we don't even see them on the side. And that's because they're running parallel. Tilt them out and you'll start to see them appear here.
Okay.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
Okay, thank
Now
you.
that top light for me is just a little too poppy.
Yeah, I was thinking of getting in there with a brush and
Yeah, or maybe a small piece of tracing paper on a little boom arm, little thin boom arm, right over the top of it to diffuse it right before it gets to the bottle.
Oh, okay.
You know, that way you're leaving most of the light to surround it. It's not going to be affected. We're just going to affect that reflection.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
I think I'll go back and reshoot it.
Yep. Mark Shaw.
Hi, Don.
Hi, Mark. How are you?
Good.
Logo looks good. Label looks good. The bottle has a lot of imperfections in it, which is probably the bottle, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. This is where frequency separation is your best friend right here. Because A, it works really well, and B, it's so easy and fast. For you to do it with clean this bottle, frequency separation take you about a minute. I had a, let's see if I can just find it real quick. I had a link here for frequency. I'll put this in the chat. Right here. This one right here. This guy not only shows you how to do it, but gives you the action. Because if you've ever had to try to make one, a frequency separation, it's a pain in the butt. So he's made an action for you. So you just do it. And that's the link for the YouTube video right there in the group.
I appreciate that, Don. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. The action works like it's just so easy to do. Sets it up perfectly. I like your light, and I like the background. Looks like you shot it, moved it off the background, and floated it in Photoshop.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't too happy with the spray light, so what the nice thing about the spray light is that I was able to set that as a background color.
Mm-hmm.
But I just decided, hey, this looked a lot better, so that's the way I went.
All right, very good.
Thank you.
Very good. You could actually take bottom half of this off, flip it upside down, bring it forward a little bit, and melt it down into the background and look like a reflection. Could give you a little bit of base. It's kind of floating right now.
Okay.
Yeah, very good. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Don.
Yeah. All right, Facebook. Where did we go? Somehow I thought I was doing that. All right.
Today's episode will be.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. And how many more do we have? Oh, not that many more. That's good. Gary. I love Harry's stuff.
Hey, Don.
Really nice. Harry. Gary. Harry. Really nice. All of this looks real good in here. Soft matte lining, lighting here. The product itself is very, very nice. It's got a nice tooth to it. I use this product, so it's got a nice, you know, it's not shiny, folks. It's got that little bit of a tooth to it. The light shows it just fine. The only thing that I have with it, I'm just, boy, those cracks in the tile are so bright. I mean, so contrasting. You know, they're so dark. They just pull my eye. Is this just tiles you used?
Yeah, it's just tiles on the kitchen table.
Yeah, I would, but they're not grouted, right?
No.
Yeah, I'd grout them with toothpaste just to get that super contrasting line to go down, because it's so hard and it's so distracting. I think be much better if it was muted. Other than that, the shot looks very, very good. Little bright right here. This cap is a little bit shiny, so maybe a little black card right over there.
Yeah,
just for that cap, not for this. We don't want to do anything of that, but just for that cap to reflect right there, just like this is doing up front.
Yeah.
Looks really good. And what was your lighting setup? Okay. So you're bouncing this into
the wall.
The wall. All right. Letting it come back. Good. Yeah. Just a little bit of toothpaste grout and you've got it made.
Yeah.
So is this a white wall, big white wall?
Yeah, it's a big white kitchen wall.
Oh, all right. So then you've got that big giant softbox from that side. Looks like a nice shot, man.
Thanks.
Hey,
Yeah.
Don.
Yes.
In the process of going back in, we actually skipped over Matt Emick's photo. If you go to the left.
Oh, there we go. Thanks.
No problem.
All right. That looks really good, Matt. You got the texture up here. You got the texture right in here, the label on here. I think I would use, Matt, you've got Nick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, grab that, oh, what's it called?
Vivesa?
Thank you, Vivesa. Get it on the white, you know,
Okay.
put a point here and a point here and a point here and a point here, tie them all together, shrink it down so you can see when you start to shrink it down, it shows you in red what's being done, right? Shrink it down a little bit, get that body power and just pull it up. Just pull it up, because this has got to be white.
All right.
And that's all we need. The bottle looks great.
Thanks.
Background looks pretty good. A kind of a loopy circle of light behind it.
Mhm. Yeah, it's a speed light with a purple gel on it.
Hey, Don, may I ask a question here on this image? Has me thinking about color harmony. In your experience in product photography, does that come into play?
Absolutely.
Complementary colors, triads, all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. One of the places that's going to be a real friend of yours is Adobe's Color, spelled with a K. Do you guys know that site?
Mm-mm.
There's another good site, Don. I don't know if you've used it, Peloton.com.
Okay.
It's another color theory for designers. It's even, I think, easier than the Adobe Color Wheel.
Yeah, this is, they've changed this quite a bit, but it's pretty fun. You can go in here and find complementary colors. You can swing around, it'll give you lists of colors. You can grab them and it'll give you a little square like this. You can put in Photoshop, so you can touch them and do it. But knowing about color theory is really, really important for all of us, folks, for all of us. It's really, really important. A couple of good, if you do color theory in YouTube, you'll get a bunch of free ones. Some are good, some are excellent, a few are pretty weak, but most of them will give you something to do it. If you use the word color cinema, color in the cinema, you're going to get a young man's, I think it's his master's thesis or whatever on using color in the movies. And wow, is that an eye-opening thing. Do you guys remember the TV show Breaking Bad?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yes.
What color shirt did Walt wear?
Was
He
it
wore,
white?
he wore a red shirt. In almost every episode, he wore a red shirt. Go back and look at the color red in the first episode and look at the color red in the last episode. His shirt gets more and more red. Little insider thing that was told me. So,
Don, I have a question. This bottle has a shaker top on it. And when I was playing around, I was thinking, in real life, a client might want, if it's, bottle's got a feature like that, they might want to show it. But when it's something we're playing around to do, but getting an angle to show off the shaker
be a
top.
separate shot. The only way you're going to do it, because if you try to get up high enough to show the shaker, you're going to squatty the bottle.
That's exact. That was what I was running into. That was my question.
No, it would just be a separate shot. If you go up and look in an ad for this stuff, I guarantee you there's a separate little cut in that shows you the shaker. Yep.
All right.
Yep. All right. Very good. Good job, Matt. What lens,
Thanks.
sir?
It's 24-70, set at 52.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my behind the scenes there. Yes.
Yeah, good light. Light worked very well. Is Terry here?
Yes, I am.
Terry, you lit this so beautifully against the black. Look at that.
Wow, thank
Did
you.
Did you have it sitting on anything, or did you cut it
it's
out
sitting on
and
a
float
black
it?
mat. It's sitting on a black mat and with black mat behind it.
Wow. So it's so
And then
delicate.
I have, oh, thank you. And I liked the little design there, and it's at a different angle on the top.
Mhm.
And I used a big scrim. I have daylight behind me, and I used my big scrim, and I angled it until the little detail shined.
Mm-hmm. You got that little soft light across the top. That's very nice. That is a design detail. And of course, that's a design detail. And the label looks really, really good.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with the label at all. Nice
Cool.
and bright and white. Cleanly shot. What camera and lens?
My D700 with a 28-105. It's about 66 millimeters, I think.
Okay, all right. So that's it. You just shot it on black and then just took it up and cleaned it up in Photoshop. Is that it?
Yep. And then the big white thing is my scrim. I couldn't show that because I held it up over my head, kind of diagonally up over the product.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Nice. Window light?
Yes, window light.
Oh, window light. There we go.
Yeah, actually, I was sitting, when you talked about getting back further with the 200 millimeter, I was sitting in the, it's a slider. I had it open and I was sitting back a little bit.
There you go.
Yeah.
Was it cold outside?
Yeah, it was probably 45.
Yeah.
To you, that's cold. Up here, it's winter.
No, to us, that's frigid. That's
Yeah,
frigid
that's
air.
right. Thank you.
Death comes at 45 here in Phoenix.
Ooh, frozen.
We don't have to quarantine here. We just don't go outside when it's 45. All right, Jay.
Hi.
Hi, Jay. Hey, the
Stupid
bottle looks good. Did you
No,
go?
it's good afternoon now.
There you go. So you shot it against white to get all that nice white stuff going there. And then you put it in here.
Right.
That is one big oil of Olay bottle there. But you can see what you need, right? Your sun's back here. You got to have a shadow.
Oh, in
Have a
front.
shadow falling forward. Yeah.
Okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
All right.
Probably just cut the sand up, feather it, darken it a little bit, and it'll fall right into. It'll just start to look like a shadow. Nice sharp. Remember, it's got to have a soft edge to it because everything else here's got a soft edge. Yeah, cool.
I was trying to figure out what else to give it, more of a sense of place, but I guess that's what'll do it.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun to have the sun coming down and hitting the top of the bottle, the side of the bottle.
Mm-hmm. And you might want to darken this little shadow on this side very slightly, quarter of a stop maybe, because your sun is coming from this way, that type of thing.
Okay.
Cool. Fuji XT F8 60th. Nice. Where did you find the beach shot?
It's in Colombia, South America.
Oh, okay.
South of Cartagena, Colombia, on the coast.
Oh, nice.
It is. It took 6 days to get that shot. The sun does not always cooperate when it's setting, but you got to keep going out there to get it just right.
Very nice.
Hey, Don, that would be rather like an environmental product shot, right? Or environmental portrait.
Right.
In your experience, to me, this bottle would need to be color blended with the background to put it into place. Is that right? So that
absolutely, it's too white.
It's got to look like it was there.
Yeah, that dusky light is going to be warmer than that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there much market for that, Don? These types of environmental product shots. Really, it's a composite we're looking at here.
There is some market for it. There is. Right now, if I gave you a rule of thumb, it would be to shoot it on white. White's going to be your number one surface in your studio is white, and then something simple, black plexi, white plexi, something like that. What we're not seeing a lot of right now are overly set shots with old barn wood and straw and all that very, very precious kind of still life thing applied to product. Still life, yes, but not product. Product has been for a while very clean, glass block, plastic cubes, that type of thing for product. Outdoor product though, backpacks, hiking shoes, etc. Yeah, they're doing that. And there's a whole bunch of photographers whose specialty is shooting product outside. It's every bit of hassle that you have in the studio with added mosquitoes and rain. So, you've got your white cards, your silver cards, your booms and everything, because that backpack still has to be lit as professionally and perfectly as possible, even though it's not done in the studio. So yeah, very good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Don.
Yep. All right, we're going to breeze through these here. Do I think this one would be next? Would this be next? We'll find out. I go that way. Yeah. All right. Arnold.
Hi, Don.
Hi.
Hi, everyone.
Got this nice and in focus here. Looks good. It's behind the scenes shot. Okay. Are you getting anything off the silver reflector? Oh yeah, there you are. Yeah, you're getting a little bit of edge right there off the silver reflector. I like the little bit of dark edge here against the white background. I like a little bit of the black, that little black line there really pulls it out nice. Good highlights all the way down. Was the background shot at the same time the bottle was?
Yes.
There's nothing in the background looks in focus. I don't know why that is. It's like, why is that not in focus if it's in the same plane as that bottle? Are you using a tilt shift or something?
No. No.
Okay.
Did you focus that?
So everything needed to be, I mean, sharp and clinical in this aspect.
I'm sorry, what? What did you ask me?
Everything, I mean, do you mean that everything needs to be clinical and sharp?
No, I'm saying that here's the plane of this
Oh,
item.
because I added a bit of vignetting blur on it.
Oh, okay. I don't like that.
Okay.
I don't think an art director will like it because it's just confusing to the eye. I don't know what
Okay.
happens down here. Those, if this is in focus, that's got to be in focus.
Okay.
So you did that in Photoshop.
Yes, it did.
All right. Because otherwise I was going to send you to camera repair. All right.
Do you think the
Are those
background works?
rocks?
What's
Are
that?
those little tiny rocks in the bottom?
Yes, they are. They're pebbles. Well, the idea actually is the surf came in there, and because I did shoot this without anything on the surface, and it was just so very like sci-fi looking. I said there is no organic feeling on it. There's no warmth to it. I actually also added, well, I guess it's a violation of down south. That thing with the reflector on the right side is actually a gold reflector because I did shoot it with white, and it was just so, it's so clinical. It's just so it doesn't have any feeling to it. Right? Because I mean it's a body wash, but it's coast. So I had to put some warmth in it.
Well, you set it up for the warmth by using the pebbles. So
But
you're okay there.
so I should just take out the blur vignetting and just okay. And then I'll post that. But
okay.
And I did struggle with putting different colors in the background. I mean the gel that is. But this one is what I felt worked the best. I mean, I did put a pure blue on it, and it was just so blue, and it didn't work so well. And I did shoot the other one uh, as a comment, and I don't know if that works too well.
Yeah, just a little hint of blue there. This background, I don't know if I'm crazy about it or well, I kind of like the one over here. This little warm one, maybe a little bit better.
Okay.
Especially with the gold reflector, that might be just a little bit nicer to my eyes. Just something about that background is very, very bright, and it goes to this blue and into the gray, and the gray just doesn't bring anything. So it's like the blue is washed out by the gray.
All right.
All right, very good. All right.
Thanks.
Yep. Dean, is it Deanna? Deanna or
It's Deanne. It's Deanne.
All right.
Deanne.
All right. Very nice. Boom, boom. Let's look at you behind the scenes. All right. All right.
Very simple.
Very simple, but you know, you look at your light. Your light looks really nice in here. I think it gets a little dark here, but I think that's easy to do is to pull it up. The only criticism that I have is that this horizon line is so high, and I think it should be here. Because when you move the horizon line down and you put your product up into the background, it looks more like a hero. So you don't want to change your camera lens or your camera angle. What you want to do is to move your bottle back to the back edge here to lower that horizon line down.
Yeah, I was trying to keep it away from the back edge because that's actually just painted Corfu,
okay.
And it was warped. So if I had it too far back, you could actually see it that it was warped.
Okay. What to do with that case?
Use different background.
Well, yeah, but if you've done the shot and you're working on it, I think I might actually even try to maybe cut the horizon here and back, move your bottle up to the top and recreate your background. Right?
Oh, yeah.
You got enough pixels back here that you probably could recreate it and move this whole thing down a little bit, and the bottle's going to just float above it. Nothing wrong with that. Putting that shadow back in there would be a piece of cake. or for that matter, just leave the shot, that part of the bottle in there and just fix the background itself. Because you could blend it, Dan, you could blend it, right? You could cut it here with the bottle and then move it up and then blend this very easy, this gray here into this one. Just blend it in so there is no horizon.
I was going to do that, but I was running out of time. So it was about 2 o'clock in the morning your time when I was finishing the picture. So
yeah. Okay. All right. Very good. Well, your highlights, your overall lighting of the bottle looks very good.
Thank you.
Really, really good.
Hey, Don, can you comment on Deanna has elected to rotate her bottle a little bit to show the lettering on the back. Can you comment on that, the position of the bottle and
I don't think it's going to matter
relationship to that kind of label?
You can see it's coming back on this side as well. Right? You see it over there?
She's elected to spin it a little bit. Is
Right.
that
So
appropriate, or what's your thoughts on?
Well, my thought was she did it the correct way because this is all lined up and justified, right? That does not appear to be. If this is rag edge, it's going to look, you know, messy. Where this is justified left. And when you had it facing straight at us, I bet you got all these little leftover sentences coming at us, right?
Yeah, and also it said Pfizer, and Pfizer's not my favorite company.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep. Good question. Asha.
Hi.
Hi, Asha. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
See the folks who waited 2 hours for the critique, next week they'll be putting their picture up like now.
I had no way. I just found out like 2 days back that the assignment was on.
There you go. And you got it done.
Yeah, and I was doing it like, 2 o'clock your time, 3 o'clock your time. I was shooting.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. Like highlights look very good. It's a very bright picture. You're real close to the edges here of it falling off into the background. So Asha, I would tell you the same thing I said before. I'd put a black card back here, down here, and then that edge here is right at the edge. It's just going to go dark because it's going to reflect that black card back to the lens. That would give you a little bit more shape here, bit more shape. But your light looks really good and your label looks really good in here.
I just had one issue there. If you can see just under the E, you can see this line that goes down. And I couldn't for the life of me figure out what that was.
Here?
No, just under the after the J, the E of the Juergens.
Here?
And onto
the
here.
First here.
E. Yes.
Here. Okay, that little guy. Now let's look at your behind the scenes here. It looks like a highlight of some type.
It looks like that. I tried covering everything around in the room and I just couldn't figure out.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. What the hell is that?
I thought maybe the fan on top. Nope. The TV by the side. Nope.
Would it be her shooting table, Don, the corner of her white table?
No, it's under.
Yeah, no, but the angle is still reflect up in the
Yeah, but that's a big table. That's a little bitty thingy here. The only thing here that I would have even looked at here is this.
Okay.
Is this little guy lighting up? Angle of incidence, angle of reflection. Looks like it could be a problem. But I don't know. Is it getting light? Yeah, it's getting, no, it's really not getting any direct light though, is it?
No.
No.
The only way I could sort of shut it off is I put a black card right on top from the camera onto the top of the bottle. Because I shut off all my lights and it was still coming on.
I think that whatever it is back over here in your house, in the area.
I
Something's
covered that
reflecting.
too.
Huh?
I covered that too,
Hmm.
which is very strange. I spent probably an hour trying to figure out what that was.
Is
Oh,
there an imperfection in the label? Is the label completely smooth?
Yes, it is.
now
Yes,
that's
it
a
is.
that's a tricky one right there. I do not have the answer for it. I don't know what it could be, but I have spent hours looking for reflections as well. You just have to go from the camera, look at that angle, position yourself mentally at that angle and look back, because it's going to be at that just a little bit off a camera to the left. Do you see that? It's the only place it can be, a little bit off camera to the left.
Okay.
So
if you put frequency separation and grab the blue color next to it, you can go over that and it'll be gone in a minute.
Yep. Yeah, it's a very clean shot. You're
Thank
behind
you.
the scenes. You've got a softbox behind this, and there's a box behind this one as well. Yeah.
That's right.
All right. Very cool.
And I had a black card on top to kind of pick up the top of the bottle. Yeah, the
happening.
nozzle.
Yeah.
I mean, I had it in hand, so I can take a picture of that.
And it makes it look tall. Makes the bottle look tall. Look, your camera's down a little bit low, right? You're shooting straight across to about here. So we start to look up at this, and then you add that little shadow. It makes it look very tall, monumental. Very nice.
Thank you.
Which camera?
7D Canon.
Okay.
It was a 18-200 at 60.
Perfect. That's just a little bit, about an 80, like an 85. Perfect. Really nicely done.
It's an EFS lens though.
You're on full frame or crop frame?
I have a crop frame, and the lens is also for a crop frame.
Yeah. All right, very good. So Eric Cole. Eric, you here? Eric. Well, Eric, it's a clean shot all the way up here. Your highlights are very soft. Watch out. And this is the part of product photography. Eric is demonstrating the part of product photography that will drive you batty, and that is the bottle has something back here. What are you going to do about it? Looks like a white label or something. He's trying to, if he centers Gillette, he's got Gillette as far as he can go to the right before it starts, getting way too much room here. And he's got that thing back here. What do you do about it? I don't know. Sometimes if you're shooting for a really, 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 really big client, if you're shooting for Gillette, they're going to get you a bottle that has nothing on the back of it. That they're going to get you 10 of them to shoot. Not a problem. If you're shooting for a local store, local outlet or something, they're not, and you're going to have to deal with it. I would say try to put a black card back here to put a darker edge on the side of it here, and then bring your highlights more to the front. All you can do is diminish it. You're not going to get rid of it.
Can you paint that just to block it out before you photograph it?
That's my question too. Can you just take it out in Photoshop?
Well, you'd have to ask that would be a client decision. The client want you to take it out in Photoshop, that's fine. If you're and that's something you probably work out in advance, because if it's going to be taken out in Photoshop, then you don't have to worry about it. You can just do it. But if they don't want you doing Photoshop or et cetera, then you have to figure out a way to diminish it in the picture itself.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. I mean, they may see it as this is their brand, and this is how they're going to convey.
It'll go back and forth depending on which art director you're working for and how they view it. Sure. Melvin here?
Come on, it's dessert time.
Okay, Melvin, I wish your bottles weren't separated. I just think that Yeah, it's not bad. Your light's really good, Melvin. The light's really nice. Good highlights on the side. These things look really good in here, look great. Reflections look great. I just wish they were tighter together so they look more like a unit. But they are, as I noticed, all three different things. You got D and magnesium and vitamin C. So they are three different things. So a little bit of space makes sense to me. So
Hey, Don, question.
Yeah.
If you overlap these bottles, how would you overlap them? To overlap? Would you overlap them or do you just get it closer?
It depends on the shot. I would not ever have them touching. They would either overlap or be a space between them. Because
But if you overlap them, how would you overlap them? Would you put the little one in the front and by
Probably.
sizes? Or?
Probably put the little one like coming into here like that, and the other one doing the same thing. A little bit.
So you overlap them just tiny bit, not a lot.
Yeah.
Just tiny.
Yeah, just enough to give dimension.
Right, right.
You don't want to hide the labels, and and see, this is where you get into a question of aesthetics. Does that look better to you than this one? To me, this one looks better. I'd rather have the heavy writing at the side than to have it on both sides. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's just an aesthetic value. It's not right or wrong. It's just how I see it.
Well,
Shot
that's what he repeated in the larger bottle. So it's consistent going across from that direction.
Exactly.
But then, so that would make that visual sense to me.
Yeah, because you're not going to escape it unless they gave you a regular bottle without writing on it. You're not going to escape it. So you might as well diminish it a little bit by moving it to the side and accept the fact that it's going to show over here like that. So this bottle and this bottle, I think, are done right. This bottle needs to turn a little bit.
What is it then? Don't shout at me.
Okay, let's see here. Oh, still got that on. All right, so we have Melvin and Dot Ward. Dot, you here?
I am. Yes. Hi.
Wow, beautiful, Dot.
Oh, thank you.
Really pretty. You're gonna have to go in with the frequency separation though. You see all the little dust and all that?
Yes, I hadn't heard about that before. I think I might try that.
Yeah, some portrait photographers use it for skin. I don't ever use it for skin. I don't like it on skin. It makes it too fakey for me. But it works great on product. Stuff like chocolate that's always got little imperfections, it just fixes it right up. Nice. I love your little highlight here. The way you've done the highlight so it shows off that sharp edge on the bottle. How nice is that? See what you did over here. Okay, so you're moving it backwards and forwards until you get to where you wanted it. Am I right?
Many, 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 many times. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the whiteboard up here is doing the front.
It was to do the underneath bit, and then I did a reflection in Photoshop to take out the baby plate.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How did you do the reflection in Photoshop?
Actually, it was I cut it out to take out the baby plate, and I did what do you call it?
It looks like you painted it in.
The fill, the what's it called?
Content aware.
Yes, that's the one. And it actually did that for me, which I've never done before, as opposed to make a reflection and flip it.
Yeah, but
I left it.
But remember,
I quite liked it.
But remember, this is going down and that's going down. If this was actually a reflection, this would be going up.
Yeah, it's probably upside down, isn't it? I probably need to flip it the other way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one thing about the content aware. It can do a really nice job, but it's not going to flip it. It's not gonna make it so that it's a real reflection. It's just gonna sort of drag it out a little bit. And that's what it did here. It did a pretty good job of it, but it just, yeah, it's easier to just cut this thing, flip it, move it down. See, flip it and then flip it again so that this lines up here and it's upside down and it'll just, you know, come out like this because your reflection is going to come out, not squeeze in. All right, good. What lens?
Yeah. A 1680 on a Fuji.
All right, good. Good.
Thanks.
Jerry?
Hi, Don.
Hi, Jerry. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Wow, look at your nice, great place you put your horizon. Looks really good. That looks really good. You got black cards over on the back?
No, actually, I had the lights pulled forward.
Okay, okay. So this is basically just nothing in the studio.
Yeah.
Yep, perfect. This is really well done, Jerry. This looks really good.
Thank
You kept the body and face is nice, the same color. A little bit of shine on the sides of the labels here. All this looks very good. Highlight looks good. That looks real. That's white plexi.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yep, that looks real. That looks very good. Nice little spray here. Don't like this little dark area that's happening here. I don't know what that is. How are you doing your spray light? From beneath or from like a boomed light?
From beneath.
From beneath.
So
Okay.
it's tilted up slightly,
All right.
but it has a grid on it. Can't actually see it there now.
Oh, okay. So this is the same setup?
Same setup, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
it was just behind where that bottle was.
Yep. I think it's pointed up too high, Jerry, and that's why it's starting to go dark down here. And I don't know that that's wrong. There's nothing wrong about it. It just pulls my eye for some reason.
Okay.
But hey, looks good. Really looks good. What 80 millimeter macro? Is a Fuji? Is that
It's a
Fuji?
Fuji, so it's a crop. So it's about a 120 equivalent.
Okay. Nicely done, sir.
Thank you.
And then we got the Joe's OxyClean. Yay, Joe. Which we looked at it already. Mark Lund's Suave. Real nice light on the sides. Label pops so well, Mark. Yes, yes, yes. Good shot, sir. Did you put the reflection in Photoshop or is that it?
Black plexi. It's a natural reflection. I dulled it down on the bottom. I don't like it when the reflection goes all the way down. So
I don't like it when the reflection is the same brightness.
yeah.
That always bothers me. It doesn't seem right, even though on plexi that's what it does.
Yep.
Now, did you shoot these singular or?
Yep. Yeah, singular, dark field lighting, 2 white cards and then 1 handheld white card.
So the light's coming from behind that black card, hitting these 2 white cards, lighting up the bottle. Then you held a white card like up here.
Yep. Yeah, at an angle to come down on the front of the label and the top of the bottle.
So all the light is coming from the back and wrapping around that black card. So you end up with a picture of your subject on black, but lit from the rim. This takes, this is a very easy thing to do. It looks great with glassware, by the way. But what it does for a product like this, you must have cards in the front because otherwise you're just going to get nothing except the edges. So nice use of fill cards. How much Photoshop did you have to do?
Not much. I a little bit of cleanup and a little bit of cleanup on the plexi, but for the most part, a little bit of dodging and burning and one time through pro contrast.
Well done, Mark.
I didn't have it done this morning and I wanted to have something turned in. So I did that after our meeting this morning and I figured dark field lighting is the quickest way to go when you can one light and
Absolutely. Fast lighting. Lee.
I changed the image. I put another one because I shot 3.
You got
A, B, and C.
But
So
you got
I,
your horizon straight, and that's what matters here.
yes. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that looks good. Your highlight coming right down through the logo looks really good. It's a great way to pull out that logo. A great way to diminish some of the writing on the back is let it go into the negative reflection there. I love the background. That
Thanks.
funky, you know, gradation looks really, really good. And shooting up at it just lengthens the bottle. The whole idea of the bottle is it's real thin, right?
Yes.
That's their brand. And this
Yes.
just lengthens it by moving the camera down. Really well done, Lee.
Thank you. And it was the same setup as the pink bottle. So the how I did it is the same as the pink. I just switched bottles.
Yep. I think you did a great job.
Thank you. So that's why
You're back.
the pink bottle's there.
There you go. Fantastic. Great. Hey, it only took 2 hours and 15 minutes. All right.
Bravo, everyone.
I have been looking looking forward to getting back to these classes. I hope you enjoy them. Next week is women's shoes, by the way, shoes. So knock yourself out with shoes. Watch the video a little bit about how you think about shoes. There's so much important. You want to show the heel, you want to show the toe, you want to show the insole and the sole. Those are the 4 parts of the shoe that need to be shown, unless one of those parts isn't interesting. So if it's just a black leather insole, focus on the other 3. And even it doesn't matter if it's a high heel or a low heel or a wedge heel, you've got to show the height of the heel. You've somehow got to see that. On running shoes, one of the most important things about your running shoes is the pattern on the bottom, right? And that's what, Nike and Adidas and all those people spend a ton of money getting those things at the bottom. So it's pretty amazing. Mark just put in the chat, reminding you that if you're not really 100% on Photoshop, you can be in about 30 days. It's really, really good. It's Flern's 30 days of Photoshop. It's free. And he really takes you through the basics. So Aaron is a super, really good teacher. And on that note, I'll say.
Don, quick question. For the shoes photos, are we allowed to wear them? I mean, can we have shoes being wear?
Sure.
On foot?
Sure.
So we can do that.
But it's not it can't be a leg shot. It's really a shoe shot. So if you're going to have a foot in them, it's got to be in close because it's really the shoe. Shoes are one of the most photographed accessories everywhere.
Hello, Don. May I ask something, please?
Sure.
This is Yanis. Does it have to be the women's shoes or
No.
men's shoes?
There's samples of men's shoes in there as well.
Okay, I wasn't sure for that. That's why I asked.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There's samples of men's shoes. The only reason that women's shoes are photographed much more than men's shoes because men's styles are so pretty. You get a pair of shoes from 1950 and a pair of shoes from last week. Men's shoes, it's hard to tell the difference in many cases. Women's shoes go through heights and heels and wedges and colors and all that kind of stuff. But no, shooting men's shoes is an art as well.
I don't think we have unused shoes for my wife. I don't think that. I let her know.
She's gonna like this assignment.
She wears everything, but
She's
I don't
gonna
know if
love
she
this
has
assignment.
some new one.
Well, Van Gogh did a beautiful job with some worn shoes. So
You can, if they are used and they're slightly used, you can fix them up in
Yeah,
Photoshop.
they are slightly used.
Yeah,
Yes.
you can just fix them up in Photoshop. I'm not asking anybody to go out and buy a pair of shoes, find one around.
Everything is closed here in Athens.
Ah.
Anybody doesn't work. Yeah, they are closed.
Oh.
They extended the quarantine for another 2 weeks or so.
Mm-hmm.
So everything doesn't work. So we have to do something, Tim. Thank you,
Yep.
Don.
Yep. Well, yeah, find somebody or find a pair of shoes that you can do. Remember, it's shooting the shoes that's the important part.
Yeah.
Whether
yeah,
it's a
of course.
perfect set of shoes, we don't care. As long as
Yeah,
you make them.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Don.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Don.
Thanks, Don.
All right, everybody, have a great weekend. Thanks for coming
Thanks, Don.
along. Let's do it again next week on shoes. Take care.
Hey, thanks very
Bye,
much.
Don.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Thank you, Don.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Right.